Welcome to the Ask Coach Mac podcast, where coaches from around the world get their strength and conditioning questions answered.
What's up, guys? McKeefery here, and welcome to episode number 22 of Ask Coach Mac. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a great question from Billy. Before we get to that, I want to thank today's sponsor, Iron Grip. If you're in the market for plates or dumbbells, these are my go-to guys. I put Iron Grip plates and dumbbells in 3 facilities, including my own garage where my family and I work out. I've had nothing but positive experiences with them and love the fact that they're manufactured in the U.S. For more information, go to www.irongrip.com. Follow them on Twitter at @iron_grip or call Chris DeSanto at 509-230-3124. All right, here's today's question from Billy.
Hi, Coach Mac. My name is Billy Mason, and I work at ANU Sport, which is a university sport organisation in Australia. We're in the early stage of implementing an S&C program, and my question is, what's the biggest piece of advice you would give to someone starting up a university S&C program? Any info or insight you could provide would be great. Thanks.
Billy, thanks for your question, and my answer will probably surprise you, but what I would caution you on is doing too much too fast. Most of the time, as strength coaches, we're overachievers, we're type A personalities, and we're going to attack things head on and find a way to get the job done. That's what makes us great at what we do. The problem with that line of thinking, though, is oftentimes the higher-ups, your administration, your coaching staff, whatever, they'll look at that and say, well, the job is getting done. Why do we need to continue to throw resources at that? And so I think there's really 2 things that you want to do early on whenever you take over a program. First, I think you need to draw out exactly what the ideal staffing situation would look like for the department. I think you need to, have a realistic expectations. We'd all like to have a single strength coach for every sport and all those types of things. But you need to look at your competition. You need to look at similar programs that have similar resources and see what their staffing situation looks like. And by looking at that and looking at your current situation and figuring out how you can best manage the sports that you have, draw out your organizational chart, get your athletic department, your coaching staff on board to say that this is what the picture that they can all agree on, that this is what the picture needs to look like for the future. But obviously you are where you're at. And in the meantime, you need to agree upon what you're capable of doing as one person. And, you do your best with the other sports, whether that's your non-revenue producing sports or whatever. I think, when you find a way to manage those, but maybe you're giving up some, interactions with them, individualized interactions with them or things like that. So, for example, you might throw 4 or 5 sports in an open training block, and just have have yourself supervise the weight room or something along those lines. But going to practice, going to conditioning, going and traveling with teams, you're not going to be able to do that as a one-man band. And so showing that, addressing it with interns and things like that, showing a need for what would be, I think is big. But you don't want to try to get everything done at the expense of your family, at the expense of yourself, your health, and all those types of things. I think the second thing you need to do is you need to identify the short and long-term needs. What are your immediate needs resource-wise? Is that equipment? Is it staffing? Is it whatever? With budget and with resources, what I like to do is identify the needs. We call those what will make us whole. What equipment will make us whole so we can program the ways that we want to program. What are some future needs? These are things that we need to have, but we don't have. What's a wish list? What are things that we want to be able to do in the future if we have the resources, and then repairs as well. Kind of goes with your immediate needs, making sure you're getting yourself all whole. And so, and then lastly, big picture things, being able to, maybe you need to replace the racks, you need to replace the flooring, things like that. You want to have those things mapped out. By mapping those things out, by communicating that with your administration, showing them what needs to happen and then chipping away at that. You're demonstrating that you have a plan. They feel comfortable in allocating resources when they come about to you, and you can kind of work to knock those things off, and it serves as a form of motivation for you to be able to tick those things off and accomplish those. So, Billy, I hope that answers your question. Would love to hear what everyone else thinks. Use the hashtag AskCoachMac22 to continue the discussion over on Twitter. Billy, thanks for your question. I want to encourage everyone else that if you have a question that you would like to potentially be featured on the show, head over to AskCoachMac.com. There you can ask your question by hitting the record button at the bottom of the page. Thanks so much. I appreciate you guys for listening. Here's a quote to finish off the day by Francis Assisi. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. Take care, guys, and I will see you in the next episode of Ask Coach Mac. Bye for now.